This video is brought to you guys by FragranceBuy.ca, one of my absolute favorite places to get discounted fragrances online. They have such a fantastic and wide and ever-growing array of some of the newest, hottest fragrances and even some hidden gems, some stuff that you won't really find elsewhere. They're always adding tons of new stuff every single month. So yes, this video is to say, hey, if you want to check out the fragrances I'm going to share with you today, you can probably find them at Fragrance Buy, but also be careful. There is such thing as too much of a good thing. Watch your wallets, guys. Don't overspend. As you can see, we're talking about all things Amouage today, and Fragrance Buy will carry most of the fragrances I'm going to share with you. They will be linked in the description. And I've done a video like this maybe almost 2 years ago where I ranked all the Amouages I had in my collection. At that time, there was just 11 of them. And honestly, I was inspired by a relatively new channel, Daniel's Fragrance Journal, and he ranked his top 3 Amouage fragrances. I saw that pop up on my feed, and that inspired me to revisit this list because it's been some time, and I've acquired, as you can see, 7 more Amouages as per the title, 18 Amouage bottles in my collection. And I highly recommend you go check out Daniel's channel and maybe show him some support. I'm going to link him down below in the description. So anyway, I have all 18 of my bottles right here. I'm certain that the order of things will be somewhat different from that original video, so it definitely is a 2025 refresh. I really look forward to hopping into this, and hopefully we can speed through it because we got a lot to speed through. Let's dive right into it. At number 18, this is a fragrance I'm slowly coming around to, but very, very slowly. I like it more than I did when I first tried it, but still not necessarily to my taste, but I do appreciate it. This is called King Blue, and this is from their library collection. And King Blue is kind of a funky, oody incense fragrance, but it's beautiful. It is really well done. I literally do see and smell blue smoke when I smell this. It's cooling blue incense with this slightly funky oud, maybe some resins. The funkiness, the barnyardy quality of the oud is very natural. It's very well blended, but it is pretty standout, especially at first, but it does settle down. After, I don't know, maybe the first 20-30 minutes on the skin, it does tame itself a little bit. The funk edge comes off and it allows the rest of the fragrance to shine. But all that being said, it's still not my go-to profile. There's others I would rather reach for. So that's King Blue, a great scent. As you can see, I'm setting the precedent. This is not a terrible fragrance, and that's why it's number 18. No, it's just the least of my taste, and we just get closer to what I love in my taste as we go up the list. Let's continue. Another one from the library collection. This is Royal Tobacco. I know this is gonna upset some people, as it shouldn't, because this is not a definitive list of what is good and what is not. This is just subjective taste, guys, so don't be upset that this is not higher. This is not the universal. I'm just one guy, so please contain yourselves. It's a good fragrance. It's just so potent. Some people are gonna find me crazy. I just don't love super strong, rambunctious, obnoxiously powerful fragrances. Some of you guys genuinely want that. Some of you guys may have been influenced to want that.
More on that another time.
It's just not for me. I don't need that kind of presence in a room with my scent. I don't need people to smell me before I walk in, and I don't need me to be the only thing that people around me can smell. Nonetheless, beautiful scent created by Cecile Zarokian. We will see her later in the list. It is a smoky tobacco. I do get an incensey, fresh, spicy, warm, spicy tobacco. I get some cardamom. I get some maybe plum in there. It's a warm, earthy, sweet, spicy tobacco that is really well done. It's just a little bit much. That's the only thing that has it this low. Anyway, that's Royal Tobacco at number 17. I'm glad you're not mad. Let's keep going. At number 16, we have a brand new fragrance. This was sent to me by the brand. I know that there's some good ones in this new collection. I think they call it the Exceptional Extraits collection. I know there's some good ones, but some of them are just again, a little too heavy-handed for me to truly enjoy. This is Purpose 50. Now, I will be honest with you. I haven't given this a full wearing since I did my first impressions, because in that first impressions, I did put it on my hand, and it kind of choked me out for the rest of the day. You didn't see that because I turned the camera off, but it was just a lot, and that was just one spray on my hand, so I've honestly been weary of actually wearing this because I don't want to choke out my wife and kid. I'm just not really into fragrance that much to where I need to do that. This is a lovely scent. I am a fan of the original Purpose, which I don't have, and I actually like the original more than this. This takes Purpose and it kind of melds it with Guidance. This thick, rich, musky, floral, sweet-ishness of Guidance is taken and shrouding the original DNA of Purpose, which is this incensey, dry, bitter woodiness. And I love that dry, bitter woodiness of Purpose more than I like the Guidance aspect of it. Beautifully created, just really, really dense, really strong. Gives me this weird little nasal drip after I smell it for an hour or two. So one day I will pull this out. I'll wear one spray. I will make sure I'm mostly outside. I'll see how that goes, and if I want to put on more the next time, maybe I'll put 2 and I'll go from there. But for now, it's not really to my taste. Again, that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just not to my taste. I can easily say that, even though they sent this to me for free. I like it, but let's move on to more and more stuff that I like a little bit more. Speaking of guidance, I do like Guidance 46 a little bit more than Purpose 50. Once again, exceptional extracts. Once again, perfumed by Quinton Biche, who's just the superstar of Amouage right now. He's doing all their stuff. I know they just did 2 new fragrances that Amouage has sent to me that are still in transit. I think he did both of those, so busy guy. Guidance 46, similarly beautiful scent. I really enjoy this DNA. It's a polarizing one. It is this musky, fruity, floral, skin-like, weird textural fragrance. It's kind of hard to describe. It's both ethereal and incredibly intense. I don't know how that works, but that's how it works. And in this case, it is way more intense than the original Guidance, which is already pretty strong. Again, I just can't really enjoy it like I want to. I wear 1 or 2 sprays of this, either one, and it's just like, especially if I'm inside, I'm like, this is a lot. All I smell is me. And if I can smell me this strongly, I'm pretty sure the person to my right can smell me even more, because my nose is already going blind to it because I'm the closest to it, but they're still getting it pretty strongly and maybe more intensely. So I'm just not trying to be that guy. Some people are, but that's just not me. So certain situations, yes, I'll feel comfortable wearing this, but in most life situations on a day-to-day, not really what I'm trying to reach for. I'll pull the cap and sniff it. Oh, lovely. But putting it on my skin is a commitment. Anyway, that's Guidance 46. Let me know what you think if you've tried it. Corinne Vinchon did Lineage, and she's done several fragrances from the house. This is such an odd aquatic. It is an incense aquatic. Even though there's no explicit aquatic notes, I do get this fresh, cooling incense that is reminiscent of ocean air rather than a church. I love how she did that. It's really, really well done. Blended with a host of resins that bring this somehow salty aquatic feel. I think fenugreek is in here,
which I don't know anything about. I don't know why I said that, but I'm pretty sure it's in here.
Nonetheless, a very unique take on an aquatic. Definitely a fresher profile, which we don't see a ton of from Amouage, but still something that's pretty dense. I would not wear this on the hottest summer day, but you can pull it off with some heat. And it's also strong, but for me, it's not too powerful. It's not overpowering, which is why I put it ahead of these other strong fragrances I just shared. Anyway, let me know what you think of Lineage. I think it's a really special take on an aquatic. All right, we have a beloved darling here. This is not a super strong fragrance, so it's not for that reason why it's this low. It's just here because the overall profile maybe has been changed over time. Maybe it's been watered down a little bit. It doesn't carry the same character. I don't get the same impression of it when I smell it. It's just, I'm reaching for it when I wear it. And there's another version of it that just gives it to me a little bit better these days. That's why it's a little higher. But this is Jubilation 25, Bertrand Duchefort, timeless masterpiece. I can easily say that, even though it's this low on the list, timeless masterpiece of a scent DNA. It's so complex, but it's so well blended that you can't smell everything. So it doesn't smell complicated, but it does smell complex, and it is a fruity, honey, resinous oud with a little bit of smokiness in there, maybe some incense, as they all do. They all have incense, it seems, which makes sense just based on the region that Amouage comes from. People call this a regal fragrance. That is the best word I can use to describe it. It does smell golden. It smells confident. It smells standout, but understated all at the same time. Lovely stuff. I love the blackberry with that honey, with the leathery resinous feel it has. And it is pretty light. Once again, it's a very transparent scent profile, at least the way it is today. So we're gonna move on, but that is Jubilation 25. Love this stuff. I know a lot of you guys do as well. From a new collection that Amouage launched last year, I think it was met with a little bit of resistance because the bottle design is different. People are like,
oh my gosh, they're changing the bottle.
No guys, it's just a new collection. And I don't know if they're gonna continue it, we'll see. I only have tried this one from the collection. I think they made 3 fragrances. The only one they sent me in full bottle form was Lustre. And I think this is maybe Julien Rasquinet. Lustre is a lovely scent. It does remind me of a few other things in my collection. What I get is this creamy, fresh, spicy cardamom, a little bit of a sweetness in there. I get this almost sandalwood cardamom combo with a little bit more texture. There is some roughness to it as well, but it's a very smooth scent profile. It reminds me of other things like from Carner Barcelona, Rima 11. I'm reminded of that type of scent profile. If you've smelled something like that, then you'll know what I mean, but it is lovely. It does still smell like Amouage, so it is in their realm of things. And it's an easy wear. It's a very easy to wear, more elegant style fragrance that you could wear day or night. So I can't say it's the most special in terms of its personality, but it does accomplish what it is very well. That is Lustre. And this bottle is gorgeous. I do love the bottle design. As we alluded to earlier, also done by Bertrand Duchaufour. His follow-up to Jubilation 25 is Jubilation 40, once again a part of the exceptional extracts, and this is one that is not overpowering. For whatever reason, this is not a super stupid powerful fragrance on me. It performs perfectly. It's a perfectly performing version of this profile. It's a little bit more dense, it's a little bit less ethereal, easier to pick up. The personality of the face is just clearer. There's more clarity to the scent. It does take all the elements of the original and it just turns up the volume a bit, fills out the gaps a little bit, but it is the same thing for the most part. So I would say that they are redundant to have if you want to have both. It's redundant. You don't need both. Choose one or the other. If you want something more light, less of a commitment, maybe go with the original. If you want something more special, maybe more standout, maybe more of a specific function in terms of like a night out or something more evening oriented, I would go with the 40. A worthy upgrade, and that is not always the case with scent profiles like this. I think Bertrand took it in a great direction. That is Jubilation 40. We are back to Cecile Zarokian. This is Material. I loved this when I first tried it. It came out a handful of years ago. She did a phenomenal job with this fragrance. Vanilla and elemi resin, tonka bean. It is this beautiful combination of elements that comes off as sweet and ambery, but kind of spicy. It just wears perfectly unisex, like literally right down the middle unisex. It does have an elegant feel without being too serious. It's kind of delicious, but it's not overly gourmand. It's just a really well done scent. I've liked it for a long time. That's Material. And alongside Material came Boundless, which was perfumed by Corinne Vinchon. We just talked about her. We'll talk about her again soon. And Boundless, I like just a touch more. It does wear a little bit more masculine leaning than Material. Some people compare this to something like Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford. And what I can say about that is it doesn't smell exactly like Tobacco Vanille, but that is a great reference point. If you want an idea of what this smells like, that's a great place to start. Yes, it is this warm, spicy, slightly sweet, earthy tobacco, a little bit of smokiness in there. But in this case, it's a little bit heavier on the tobacco and vanilla, more so than the spices. The spices don't come through a whole lot. I know there's ginger in here. I know there's blood orange, but that tobacco is more earthy and leafy rather than smoky, pipey. It's just the right amount of sweetness, but not too much to make it smell overly unisex. It's just a great evening out fragrance when you want to have an authoritative demeanor. Something a little bit darker, but not too strong. Lovely stuff. That is Boundless. Corinne Vinchon, once again, one of my favorites from the house. We are in the last half of the list. This is, I think, the 8th spot, and this is Overture Man. And I believe that this, along with its female counterpart, was the last pair to be produced under the previous creative director, and that is Christopher Chong, alongside the Portrayal Man and Woman series. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the case. And since then, they've done away with the man, woman monikers, and they've gone a pure unisex route with things. And just Renaud Salman is doing his thing. He's doing something different, but paying homage to the heritage of the house. But anyway, Overture Man, animalic, smoky, boozy, spicy, woody. It's so just in your face. I love the cognac in here. It kind of smells the way it looks. It has this color. It's a little funky with its animalic nature, but I think that adds to the elegance. The spiciness is pretty intense, really awe-inspiring, really captivating. Definitely one that you would wear 2 to 3 sprays of on an evening out, maybe dark colors, leather jacket or tuxedo or something where you feel like you're looking your best and you want to smell different from the rest of the crowd. You don't need much of this. Too much of this, people are going to hate you. Again, it's pungency that turns people off more so than it is unfamiliarity. So just a few sprays of this, 2 or 3, like I said, it's going to be perfect, especially if it has room to breathe. Fantastic stuff. If you want to stand out from the crowd, Overture Man is one to consider. These next 3 fragrances are some of the newest additions to my collection. I'm so thrilled to have them. I've wanted them in my collection for some time. This one I had not tried before I got this bottle. I just kind of went for it and I'd heard great things about it. And this is Dia Man. A lot of you guys have been saying, dude, you need to check out Dia Man. And I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'll check out Dia Man one day. And it just was never the top of the list. Finally got this. And I don't recommend blind picking up a bottle like I did, but this is, man, I see what you guys are talking about. It is so masculine in a soft, confident way. There is a prominent floral component. It is mostly peony mixed with some plum, fruity floral with a little bit of a fresh spiciness up top and this very smooth, almost creamy woody base beneath that. It just kind of envelops the scent. It smells white to me. It's just a beautiful, again, confident scent profile that you can wear as a guy that doesn't scream, hey, I'm a man. It's just like, hey, I'm here. What's up? And people are like,
man, you smell great. And you smell like you're not trying so hard. I like that.
That's Dia Man. I'm still getting to know it, so I don't have much more to say about it at the moment, but more to come as I get to know it. In fact, this will probably be my scent of the day. Let me know what you think of Dia Man. I just got this fragrance recently as well, just a month ago. It's one that I smelled years back. I didn't like it. I've come back around to it. Now I love this stuff. You can see it's among my favorites in my Amouage collection, and it's Lyric Man. I know a lot of you guys already dig this one. There's been a lot of talk about it. Lyric Man is beautiful. It does smell a little bit like a rose soap. If you can imagine like a clean, almost soapy smelling rose. There's an interesting lime note up top that blends with the rose in an odd way, adding just a little bit of bite to it. And I love that about it, but it is smooth and musky, clean and soapy. Maybe gets a little woody, but not very much. It is a rose forward fragrance, but it does not smell like you're putting your face into a bouquet. It smells more like they extracted the oil and put it in a soap, but it's masculine. If you smelled it, you know what I mean. That's Lyric Man. Love this stuff. At the 5th spot, also brand new to my collection, one that I had tried years back. I liked it, just not enough to explore it any further. I'm so glad I got this bottle. I know a lot of you guys would be asking about the presence of this in this list. This is Journeyman, and Journeyman is beautiful. Spicy, incensey, woody. Journeyman is characterized by lots of tobacco and pepper, Sichuan pepper, I think. Just spicy, kind of fresh, but also warm at the same time. Just barely sweet, elegant stuff. That's, again, all I can really say about it because I'm still getting to know it, but I've worn it the other day. Was absolutely loving it. It had to be here in the list at this point, but again, more to come as I get better acquainted with it. I'm just going off of how it made me feel when I wore it. Not super strong, especially in its current formulation, so definitely don't come at it looking for absolute beast mode. If you want beast mode, go to the beginning of the list as we were just talking about. But Journeyman, lovely stuff. Will be around a while, I hope. At number 4, unfortunately discontinued, lovely Fougere. This is Bracken Man. Man, Bracken is for the men. It is truly a men's fragrance. It has a little bit of a throwback feel. Fresh and soapy clean with that lavender. It's spicy with several things, but cloves primarily being the face here. You gotta like cloves. Cloves can be a little stuffy to some people and can make this smell a little bit old manish. I think it's beautiful. I think it's a beautiful, unique representation of this genre, which is the aromatic fougere. Has a barbershop feel, but mature. I can easily say that. So I'm not going to say run out and get this because you may not be able to get it anywhere, at least not for a reasonable price. But if you are the kind of guy who loves fougeres, you're looking for one that is very definitive, one that has a lot of distinction to it. If you can get your hands on this, I would check it out. I don't know if Fragrance Buy has it. They do get discontinued fragrances into their arsenal from time to time. Maybe this one shows up from time to time. If they have it, obviously check it out. But if they don't, I don't know. Just take my word for it. It's fantastic. Top 3. One of my first loves from the house is Reflection Man. I don't need to say much about this. So many of you guys have tried it. Some of you guys enjoy it. Some of you don't. Some of you would say Reflection 45 is better. I don't have that. That's why it's not here. I have a sample of it somewhere. I've spent some time with it. I need to spend more time with it, and maybe I'll get it one day. I don't know. That's my explanation of why it's not here, but Reflection is gorgeous. A fragrance I will always have in my collection. Just smells clean, like a white floral that men can wear and still smell masculine. It does have a reflective quality in its scent profile. I do have an older bottle here, this little 50 ml that I've had for several years. I don't use it a ton these days, but from time to time, I'll give it a spray, and man, I just love the way it makes me feel. Let me know if you enjoy Reflection. At number 2, some of you guys would expect this to be number 1, and it easily could. It's just on this day that I'm recording this video, this is just number 2, and the other one is number 1. They could flip-flop as time goes on, but this is Enclave. I love Enclave. I don't know what it is. It just makes me feel, again, like myself. It smells like nothing else. I've smelled nothing else that smells like Enclave, and all the while, I think it's still a very elegantly wearable fragrance. It is characterized by lots of mint, very spicy, cooling mint with cardamom, maybe some resonance labdanum in there. It almost gets a little leathery, maybe a touch smoky on the skin. It goes from cool to warm on the skin, but it's very minty. Some people say it smells like toothpaste. It doesn't remind me of toothpaste, but I can see where people are coming from. Super mint forward, but mint not in a summery way, mint in more of a transitional way, more fall, spring, mint that has a lot of depth behind it, a lot of dimension behind it. So if you're looking for a different take on mint, different than anything you've probably tried, check out Enclave. Lovely stuff. And my number 1, some of you guys may have already figured out through deduction what this is. It is Beach Hut Man. I've loved Beach Hut Man ever since I first tried it. Love at first sniff from this very bottle. Honestly, it's not a fragrance I wear all the time because it's pretty strong, but it's one of those strongs that makes sense. This type of scent personality is very strong and masculine. It's very unapologetic, maybe a touch throwback, but not overtly so. And for whatever reason, it doesn't compromise the freshness of this fragrance. The fact that this is fresh and strong rather than dense, rich, sweet, tobacco, earthy, oody, and strong, it just makes it easier to wear. But again, I don't wear it all the time because I have to really be in the mood for this type of scent personality. I have to be really ready to put forth a more mature demeanor. And some days I am, some days I'm not. But I love Beach Hut. I have worn it quite a bit over the years, even though you look at the bottle and it doesn't really look like it because I don't wear much of it because it's so strong, as I said. But once again, super strong, fresh, and green. Lots of green mint here as well. Some vetiver, maybe a little bit of patchouli. It smells like you're out in the foliage, among woods, among resins, but very green. This is way more of a green mint than Enclave. This is not cooling mint. No, this is like herbal mint, fresh out in the wild mint, but very strong. Kind of has a clean soapiness behind it. Maybe some moss as well. It just smells like a confident guy. I don't know how readily available it is out there. I think Fragrance By does have it. I know Beach Hut Woman is discontinued. But anyway, let me know what you guys think of Beach Hut Man if you've tried it. Let's talk about it in the comments. And let me know what you think of the House of Amouage in general. Let me know which of these that I've talked about are some of your favorites. I know there's many that I'm missing, as is expected because I'm not a full out collector. I don't have every single one and I never will, but I will slowly acquire them here and there because Amouage is one of my absolute favorite houses. Once again, let's talk about what you think down in the comments. Links to everything down in the description, and thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.